Hey, this is Mitch. Welcome back to the Life Stories channel. You know, everyone has led an interesting life and has had unusual things happen in it. Everyone could write a compelling, inspirational, humorous, or instructive autobiography that would provide wisdom, levity, or relief to those who are smart enough to choose to read it. This channel is an opportunity to enjoy the experiences of everyday people and to share in their joy, laughter, adventure, and yes, sometimes even sorrow. I have a lot of stories and could provide years of content for this channel. However, that is not my goal. My goal is to share the stories from you and others like you, to provide a platform and a gathering place to tell stories and for others to hear them. And so I want your stories. If you have an interesting, inspirational, or humorous life story of your own, let me know. Just write it down or create a short 3 to 5 minute video and send it to me at lifestorieswithmitch@gmail.com. Political, religious, or controversial material will not be accepted, nor will profane or sexually explicit content. This channel is a place to escape these sorts of things. If you like the story you're listening to, please hit the like button. If you want to be entertained or inspired by the experiences of others on a regular basis, please subscribe. If you know someone who has a good story or who enjoys a good story, please refer them here. So I'm going to kind of double up this week again. My mom celebrated her 79th birthday on last Sunday, and happy birthday, Mom. Congratulations on 79 years. So I want to tell another story about my mom. I could tell lots of them about my mom, but I'm going to tell another one because, it's her birthday and want to honor her. So this story is a story of a lot of effort that my mom put forward for me. I've lived a life where not a lot of people have put forward a lot of effort to help me out. And I've lived that life mostly intentionally. I shun help from people in most instances. I don't ask for help when I need it. I try to do things on my own. But when I was in high school, our choir had a chance to go to Europe to perform. And in order to go to Europe to perform, we had to raise money. And so my mom took on the chairmanship of the fundraising committee for the choir to raise funds to go to Europe to sing. And she worked like crazy. We had half a dozen different large events. We had ongoing plant sales. We had ticket sales to concert that we had organized. Just huge amounts of work, and she put forth a huge amount of effort in it. And I want to say, at this point, thanks, Mom. I appreciate all that you tried to do for me. The real crux of the story, though, is the concert that we set up. We had booked Tammy Wynette to play at the local high school 2 shows to help raise funds for the concert. Now, I don't want to say anything to disparage the dead, but Tammy wasn't real cooperative about the whole thing. I don't think it was Tammy. I think it was her agents, but she wasn't real cooperative about the whole thing. She wouldn't take any kind of a pay cut, knowing that it was a benefit to help kids go to Europe or anything like that. She had very specific and somewhat difficult demands to meet, but she struggled through all of that and worked out an opportunity to have Tammy Wynette perform for us on the high school. And so, as the event approached, the week leading up to the event was spent building stage and rigging lights and doing all sorts of other things in order to help, in order to put this concert on. And I worked on that concert and on building that stage and running the lights and all the rest of the stuff as much as anybody else did. I worked at the plant sales. I worked at the ticket sale counter. I put in a huge amount of effort for which I was getting credits towards going to Europe. At the end of the process, at the end of this fundraising process, I had almost $5,000 worth of credits built up to go to Europe. My trip would have cost about $1,500 at that time, so I could have taken myself and 2 other kids to Europe and had money to spend left over. But as fate would have it, Tammy Wynette had a dental emergency the night of the concert and couldn't show up at the concert. And so now we had to go through the process of refunding all the tickets and everything else. And ultimately, at the end, the concert cost us more money than we would have ever made from it. But that's not really the issue either. I'm a big John Denver fan, a huge John Denver fan, and have been for all of my life. Now, you can look at me, you can look and say, yeah, John Denver, what a hick, and that's fine. But I like John Denver. He's got great music. He plays guitar well. I like what he sings about and believe in the things that he believes in. And so, I like his music. That night that Tammy Wynette concert was scheduled to be performed, John Denver was scheduled to appear at the local Coliseum. I found out about that 6 months before the concert and slept outside the Coliseum overnight the night before the ticket office opened to sell those tickets so I could get a good seat. I was like 30th in line and got front row tickets. It was great. And the concert, John Denver's concert, was awesome. I had a great time. But hearing of the fact that I was going to go to the concert, the choir leader was very upset. He was extremely upset that I wasn't going to be there to help participate in the event to help raise money to help send the kids to Europe. And I get that. But my thing was there were going to be lots of members of the choir who weren't going to be there. I wasn't the only one that wasn't going to be there. And I had worked my ass off trying to sell tickets and sell plants and build stages and do other things to help this fundraising effort along. And it was the only opportunity that I had to see John Denver local. And it was the first concert I was ever going to go to. I was 14 years old. So my mom stood up for me. She went to the choir director, who was not an easy person to deal with. And she stood up for me. She argued my cause and finally won him over to the fact that I deserved to be able to go to the John Denver concert, that I had done enough to help raise the funds and to help build the stage and everything else to put the event on, and that my presence there wasn't necessary for the event to proceed. And, I don't have very many people stand up for me. It's nice that my mom did that for me. The long and the short of it is, at the end of the process, the entire thing became kind of moot because we moved to a different city about 4 months after that concert was supposed to be held. And the $5,000 I had in my account to send myself and apparently 2 other kids to Europe, I never got to use. Did all that work. My mom did all that work and got nothing out of it because we ended up moving. I hope the choir did get to Europe. I never did hear whether they got to Europe or not, and I hope that somebody was able to take advantage of the money that I had built up. But I didn't get to do that, and unfortunately, for all the effort that my mom put in, she wasn't able to realize that dream for me either. So, I love you, Mom. Thanks again. Again, if you like this, hit the like button. If you want to hear more stories like this, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Share this with somebody who you think might enjoy it. Thanks again, Mom, and thanks for listening. Take care.